Let's look at solving simultaneous equations using the method of substitution. We already looked at an example where we used the method of elimination. We will have two other methods, but we'll come to those at a later date. You can solve simultaneous equations using matrices, but we'll do that when we reach the topic vectors and matrices. You can also solve them using graphs, which is under the topic functions and graphs. But let's look at this example. I saw this example in the certificate mathematics book by A. Green and E. Layne, the 4th edition. Now it says 3x plus 4y is equal to 11 and x plus 7y is equal to 15. Remember, when you use the method of substitution to solve a pair of simultaneous equations, what you really are doing, or the strategy that you're supposed to use, you will make x the subject of one of the equations, or you could make y the subject of that equation. Then you substitute for x in the next equation. So what you're going to do is, first of all, make x or y the subject. Then after that, you substitute. You're going to substitute that in the other equation. So let's call this equation 1 eg1 and this equation 2 eg2. Right? We're going to make x the subject of eg2. So let me type it. Make x the subject of equation 2. So what we have is x plus 7y equals 15. How do you make x the subject? By making x the subject, you will have it so that you have x alone equals, not x plus 7y equals. You must have x alone equal. What you do is subtract 7y from both sides. So you take 7y away from the left, you must also take 7y away from the right. So 7y minus itself, that's gone. So you have x alone equals 15 minus 7y. Nice. After that, you substitute for x in equation 1. Alright, so you whatever you get for x, you substitute that in equation 1. Now what that means, you know that 15 minus 7y is x. You have a problem here in terms of trying to solve each equation. The problem is that you have two unknowns. You have x and y in equation 1 and you have x and y in equation 2. Two unknowns in each. But after you make a substitution, then you will partially take care of that problem. Here, this is x. So what you're going to do is put that right here. remove this x and put this instead, because it is x after all. So you have 3x plus 4y equal 11. X is 15 minus 7y, so just remove this and put 15 minus 7y instead. Alright, so that's what happened. Now, you multiply out the bracket. 3 times 15 gives you 45 minus 3 times 7y. 3 7 is 21, so it's 21y. Plus 4y equals 11. Alright, your negative 21y plus 4y is what? You're going to have 45. It will be negative 17y equals 11. Right? Equals 11. So, you have 45 minus 17y equals 11. You want to have y alone equal. So let's get rid of the 45 and get rid of the 11. How do you get rid of the 45? You minus 45 from the left to get rid of it. 45 minus itself is 0, so you have negative 17y equals 11. But the thing is, if you remove 45 from the left would become too light and you would be off balance. You will have to remove it from the right as well. So take it away from the right. So you have 11 minus 45. 11 minus 45. So negative 17y equals 11 minus 45 is what? We're going to have a negative number, negative 34. Good. Now you have negative 17y is equal to 34. What you do, you can say, which number does negative 17 multiply to give negative 34? You know it's going to be 2. But you can just divide also by negative 17. Negative 17 cancel itself. So you have y equals, you must divide the right hand side by negative 17 as well. And you have 2. So y equals 2. Good. Now that you know what y is, you're going to put that number for y in one of these equations. Let's use equation 2 because equation 2 obviously would be easier to deal with. It has smaller numbers. Alright. Alright. I mean, with this, in this case, would be easier to deal with than dealing with a 3x. But whichever one you want. Here, I'm going to use equation 2. X plus 7y equals 15. But we said y is 2. So, let's remove the y and put 2. 7y is 7 times y. So, it's going to be 7 times 2 here. 7 2 is 14. So, x plus 14 will give you 15. Alright. What plus 14 gives you 15? 1. So x is 1. Or you could also say x plus 14 equals 15 minus 14 minus 14. 14 minus 14 is 0, so x is equal to 15 minus 14, which is 1. Alright, so x is 1. X is equal to 1. Alright? What I want you to do now is to substitute y equal to in equation 1 and see if you get the same thing. Okay.